and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going through my entire owned TBR of Gothic books. Now, I have quite a few, so I did consider doing it where I would go in depth into every single book, but to be honest, who has the time? So I'm just going to tell you what the books are, and I'm also going to tell you why I think they're Gothic, because there's no guarantee these are Gothic. Some of them are pitched as Gothic, some of them are not, and because Gothic is such a vague genre, sometimes it can be quite hard to pin down, but these are books that I suspect have Gothic tropes in them. So what I'm going to do is I will go through each one and then I will tell you why. Now obviously when I say this is my entire owned TBR of Gothic books, that does not include the books that are currently in my Gothtober TBR, and that is for the simple reason that I'm hoping I will read them during this month. I have like 10 days left. When I'm recording this, I will have even less when it comes out. I'm hoping that means that actually I will be able to have gone to those books and therefore they will no longer be on my own TBR. So these are just the ones that I own that didn't make it onto my Gothtober TBR, and hopefully I will be able to read over the next few years, because it's stressful. It's stressful having so many books and not having enough time to read them. First one on my own TBR is Madam. This is a kind of Rebecca style Gothic fiction. Although it's a modern Gothic, it has that traditional feel. My cat is now trying to sit in my lap. Come on, bud, say hello. Say hello. You're being all cute. Come on, sit down. This is a 2021 release. I've been told it's very similar to Rebecca in the style of writing, and that the Madam is not very nice, and that was really all I needed to know, that it was going to be Gothic. It is set at a boarding school, so it's going to have dark academia vibes. It's an all-girls school. It's got Donna Tartt referenced on the back and Margaret Atwood, so I'm intrigued by this one. Next is Blackwater Sister. I was recommended this by Olivia, and obviously Olivia has picked this for their book for the giveaway, and that's how I know it's going to be Gothic, because Olivia picked it for a Gothic readathon. So there's that one. I know it has ghosts in it as well. Next is The Intoxicating Mr. Lavelle. This is a historical romance by Neil Blackmore. Mr. Lavelle was an openly gay man kind of touring Europe. He encounters two brothers, and I think there's going to be shenanigans, and that really, that feels Gothic to me. So there's that one. I have NVK by Temple Drake, which is about vampires, and as we know, vampires are Gothic. I have The Foundling by Stacey Halls. I also have Mrs. England by Stacey Halls. We read The Familiars for the Elemental Library, so I know that her writing style, whilst has Gothic tropes, is on the lighter side, but it still counts. Rhapsodic is a monster romance, I'm assuming, because, you know, there's a bat wing on the front, so that's fun. That feels Gothic to me. The Lost Apothecary, I know absolutely nothing about. It just, the bottle on the front makes it feel Gothic. I've no idea if this is going to be Gothic or not, but I'm putting it on the list. The Harpy by Megan Hunter is a literary fiction, but I think it's going to have a Gothic vibe to it. I know it's got some darker themes to it, so that's what makes me think it's going to be Gothic. It's also the shortest Gothic book I own, in that it is teeny tiny, so really should get to that soon. Got no reason not to. Of Light and Darkness, I think is going to be another vampire romance. Just something about it screams vampire romance. The Burning Girls is a thriller that is surrounding like a church in a small town. That's very Southern Gothic vibes, if nothing else. I'm hoping it's better than Tall Bones. Tall Bones let me down on that front, but I'm hoping this one will pay off. The Divines is another dark academia. This is going to have Gothic vibes in that Divines are a sorority, so there's that kind of element to it. There's going to be elitism and classism and other Gothic tropes like that, but it's a thriller, so it's not meant to be nice. If you're wondering like why I'm describing it like that, it's not meant to be nice. Really excited, and it's so pretty. It's such a pretty book. A Touch of Darkness is a Hades and Persephone retelling, so forbidden romance, that's a Gothic trope. Girls Up and Thorn, I cannot remember anything about. I put this on my wish list 2 years ago. It was gifted to me by Carolyn, I think. Yes, by Carolyn, for More Body Reads, which was super cute. I think that was gifted to me for my birthday, so I haven't got to it yet, Carolyn, but we will get to it soon, I'm sure. It just gives me Gothic vibes. It might not be, it just gives me Gothic vibes. The Year of the Witching, I have started but not committed to, for no other reason than I just got distracted, so please don't take that as a response to what I think of this book. I actually did enjoy what I read of it. This was gifted to me by Ashley, so I need to get to that sooner rather than later. It's been on the TBR a couple of times, I just don't pick it up, which is just lazy of me more than anything. I think that's all the adults. I'm not entirely sure if the Sherlock Holmes by Anthony Horowitz are YA or adult, but I have 2 of those. And they're Sherlock retellings, so they're going to be Gothic because they're going to have those mystery vibes to them as well, which is always fun. And then I suspect the rest of them are YA. I suspect they're YA. Like, I think Dread Nation is going to be YA. That's a black fantasy set at a combat school for girls. So that's going to be fun. Gategracers, I think, is another witchy coven type high school drama, which is going to have loads of Gothic vibes, and I also really enjoy that it's shiny. Just really enjoy how shiny it is. It's not shiny, well, it is kind of holographic on the spine as well, but I mainly just enjoy how shiny it is on the inside, so there is that one. Beyond the Black Door by M. Strickland, I really loved In the Ravenous Dark, so I'm assuming that fantasy Gothic is probably going to be the vibe of this author, which is why I think this is also going to be a Gothic one. Stalking Jack the Ripper, this is another one where I'm not sure if it's an adult with smut or a YA, because no one will really like narrow it down for me. It's Little Brown, which doesn't help either because they do both, but Jack the Ripper is used in quite a lot of Gothic fiction as a kind of reference not only to the Victorian era but to brutality and violence against women, so the idea of stalking Jack the Ripper, that's definitely Gothic vibes. Furyborn, I'm pretty sure is a villain origin story, so that's definitely Gothic, even if it's just light fantasy. Horrid, Danny's just finished reading this and does confirm that it's Gothic, because she picked it for the Gothtober. And this is what I mean about Little Brown also doing YA. Like, I don't know about Stalking Jack the Ripper, whether it's YA or not, but this apparently, it's got really, really dark themes as well that are definitely Gothic. Where Dreams Descend, Magical Circus. And it just looks like a Gothic, doesn't it? It looks Gothic, if nothing else. I think that's fair. I can put it on my Gothic TBR, even if I don't know if it's actually going to be Gothic. It looks like it could be. These Witches Don't Burn, which is obviously a Gothic trope. We've got Gumiho or Wicked Fox. Mythology is definitely a Gothic fiction. And it's a Gothtober prompt this year. This nearly made it onto my Gothtober TBR, but I ended up picking something else, and I can't even remember what I picked. I think I picked Certain Dark Things instead, because I wanted to read all of the Sylvia Moreno Garcia. So it just pipped into the post, but definitely it feels like if it's either going to be an urban fantasy, which is kind of a subgenre of Gothic anyway, or just straight up dark YA, so Gothic as well. So I'm hedging my bets with that one. I think it's got two possibilities. You Must Not Miss, which is another Trina Leno. So again, the magpies and stuff, it just looks, I can't even remember what this is about, it just looks Gothic. We've got The Friend Scheme, which has gambling, LGBTQ, chaos, murder, I think maybe, definitely criminals, so good times around. That one, definitely Gothic. The Night Country is more Grimm's fairy tales, but I think just the way it's written can feel Gothic sometimes. It has quite a slow pace. Certainly the first one did, so I need to read the second, and then I also need to read the Hinter Tales, but I think that is going to be more Grimm's fairy tales. All These Bodies, which is definitely a YA thriller with monsters in it, definitely Gothic. I mean, I also enjoy the shiny of that one. And then the only middle grades that I have left that are Gothic after reading my Evelyn Jones ones are my Monsters of Rookhaven and Shadows of Rookhaven. I got the Shadows of Rookhaven arc for NetGalley, and then realised I hadn't read the first one. So I got myself the first one. I have updated my NetGalley, because I read the first 100 pages of Monsters of Rookhaven, I read the first 100 pages of Shadows so that I could do my NetGalley response, but I do need to actually finish both of these, and yeah, definitely spooky, definitely Gothic vibes. So if you're like, again, want Gothic but I want a lighter one, would recommend these are super cute. But there you go, that is my full owned TBR of Gothic books, and I'm sure there's some that I've missed that I just can't find, because I'm constantly buying books that even remotely Gothic in vibe or colour scheme or just, you know, certain descriptors. I rarely pick up books that are described as modern Gothics, because I feel like sometimes that's a bit of a trick, but I do, yeah, I do love a Gothic. If you have a Gothic book that you would like me to read, or you think I should read that did not make it onto this list, and you haven't seen it in my content, please let me know down below what the last Gothic fiction book you read you absolutely adored, because I'd love to know. Any of the books that are available will be down in the description from Waypoint, so go down there and treat yourself, support me in my content, and other than that, have a nice day.